Hey Columbus, Tom Silva here from This Old House and Ask This Old House. And I'll be at the Dispatch Home and Garden Show on Saturday, February.
Tom Silva is a highly respected American contractor and television personality, best known for his long-running role on the PBS home improvement series, This Old House. Even at 75, he has never missed any shot. He's very committed to his craft and doesn't listen to his family's plea to rest. However, a heartbreaking tragedy in his life has surfaced. Join us as we unveil the details. This Old House. This Old House is a television show that involves the quiet revolution of transforming old, dilapidated houses into modern edifices. Started in 1979, it has no interest in featuring politics or drama, but is strictly all about hammers, nails, and the magic of restoring homes. The show completely changed the way Americans thought about home improvement. At the time, most people saw home renovations as something hidden behind closed doors, done by professionals or brave weekend warriors. However, This Old House opened the doors to a more literal and figurative mode of house beautification. It brought cameras into real-life renovation projects, showing step-by-step how homes could be rebuilt, restored, and revived. Russell Marash was the creator of this life-changing show. He is a television producer who wanted to document the renovation of a rundown Victorian house in Dorchester, Massachusetts. With Bob Vila as the original host, the show blended storytelling with education, humor with hard work. It wasn't flashy. There were no fake storylines, no make-believe TV drama, but real contractors doing real work on real homes, and audiences loved it. Each season followed the transformation of one home, from a broken and worn structure to a beautiful and livable space. The show eventually featured everything from modest New England capes to stately colonial revivals and urban brownstones. In the early 1980s, the show needed a skilled construction team for a project in the Boston area. That's when the producers came across the Silva Brothers Construction, a family company led by Tom Silva. At that time, Tom was already well known locally for his craftsmanship, characterized by precision, integrity, and a deep respect for others. He has been in construction work since childhood, learning the trade from his father and working closely with his brothers. Their company had worked on complex renovations and historical restorations, which was exactly the expertise the show needed. From there, Tom became an integral part of the show. The first project he worked on with the This Old House crew was the 1986 renovation of a home in Lexington, Massachusetts. His role wasn't originally intended to be permanent. He and his brother were hired solely to help with the construction. However, what happened next changed his life forever. As filming progressed, it became clear to producers and viewers that Tom wasn't just a skilled builder. He had a natural presence on camera. He was calm, clear, and possessed endless knowledge. He also had much respect for viewers. He explained things in a way people could understand because he loved teaching. Everything he did on the show continued to win the hearts of the viewers and crew members. Whether he was demonstrating how to install clapboard siding or explaining the importance of vapor barriers, Tom brought trust and clarity to every scene, which endeared him to the audience even more. By the end of that project, the show's team realized they had found someone special. They weren't ready to let him go so easily because he was the reason why people watched the show. They reviewed the initial contract, and Tom Silva officially became the general contractor for This Old House, a position he held for many years. What started as a temporary contract in 1986 became a long-lasting adventure, having Tom Silva as a pillar of the series for nearly 4 decades. In each season, he led complex renovations, ranging from rebuilding fire-damaged homes to updating century-old plumbing and electrical systems. He's not just the guy with the tools, but the guy who makes decisions, solves problems, mentors apprentices, and ensures every detail is done right. This Old House also has its own spin-off called Ask This Old House. It also features Tom Silva, answering questions from viewers about construction work. Additionally, Tom travels throughout the country, helping people solve home improvement dilemmas in their own backyards. This Old House did not stop Tom from engaging in other businesses. When he's off camera, he continues to run Silva Brothers Construction. The company has grown, but it retains its family roots and hands-on approach. Tom works alongside his foster son, Charlie Silva, who has also appeared on the show. Those who have met Tom Silva in person say he's exactly who he appears to be: humble, funny, hardworking, and genuinely passionate about his craft. There's no doubt that Tom Silva's impact was felt in the show. But how did it affect his personal life? Does being a screen sensation make him happy in his real life? A careful examination of his life story will answer that question, so stay tuned as we delve into the details. Early life of Tom Silva. Before Tom Silva stepped onto construction sites surrounded by TV cameras, became a household name on This Old House, and inspired generations of craftsmen and DIY enthusiasts, he was just a curious boy with a hammer in his hand and a deep respect for hard work in his heart. Born in January 1947 in the Boston area of Massachusetts, Tom grew up in a tightly knit family where values like craftsmanship, integrity, and perseverance were taught not in classrooms, but in the basement of their home, attics, and job sites. Tom began working closely with his father at work sites when he was just a young boy. By the time he was in grade school, Tom had already developed a natural eye for detail and an intuitive understanding of how things fit together. However, more than anything, he had a passion for building. He always said that his greatest early influence was his father, a skilled contractor and craftsman who ran his own small construction business. While other kids played on the street at a young age, Tom would accompany his father to job sites, helping him sweep sawdust, carry tools, and watch in awe as beams were raised and walls took shape. Though it wasn't a glamorous job, Tom loved every bit of it. He was engrossed in the learning of the language of tools, the rhythm of a work site, and the importance of doing a job right the first time. He was taught the importance of taking a measurement twice and cutting once. He learned how to level a beam by eye and took pride in even the smallest detail. Despite all these details of effective craftsmanship Tom learned, he still believed that respect was one of the most important things his father taught him. Whether it's respect for the work, the customer, the house, or the materials, it's all essential in the life of a builder. His father instilled in him the understanding that respect would become the cornerstone of his career. This background insight into construction work fueled Tom's passion for building at a young age. He didn't need to wait until adulthood to gain professional experience. Instead, he began his apprenticeship in childhood. He was working on houses before he even had a driver's license. One of his earliest memories was helping his father build a fallout shelter beneath their home during the height of the Cold War. While others may have been intimidated by the global tension, Tom's dedication to humanity kept him going. Throughout his teenage years, Tom continued working alongside his father and brothers. They handled everything from framing and roofing to drywall and finish work. That was when their family company was officially opened. At first, it operated with the old-fashioned mentality that you don't leave a job until it's done right. That work ethic rubbed off on Tom. It was the foundation of the integrity for which he was later known. Even in high school, while his classmates were planning for college or dreaming about office jobs, Tom knew exactly what he wanted: to build. Tom's passion for building was not about the paycheck. What set him apart, even in his youth, was his love for the craft. While many people entered construction for the paycheck, Tom fell in love with the process. He loved the smell of fresh-cut lumber, the grain of wood, and the satisfaction of a perfectly mitered joint. He wasn't just building walls. He was creating memories, saving history, reviving old homes, and preserving the soul of the spaces where people lived. Tom was an excellent worker who wasn't satisfied with just good enough, but the best that could be delivered. That devotion to quality became his trademark. By the time Tom entered adulthood in the late 1960s and early 1970s, he had more hands-on experience than many professional contractors. With his father's support, Tom and his brothers officially commissioned Silva Brothers Construction, based in Lexington, Massachusetts. Based in Lexington, Massachusetts, the company specializes in residential renovations, especially historical homes. This marked the beginning of Tom's career journey. From the onset, Silva Brothers' work was distinguished by a commitment to precision and authenticity. They were not simply tearing out old rooms and installing modern materials, but preserving the architectural character of homes built a century or more earlier, often having to custom fabricate parts that no longer existed. In a very short time, the company has built its reputation slowly and honestly, by the genuineness in their words, by displaying excellence even in jobs that seem tough, and by never cutting corners. One of Tom's first major responsibilities was building a nuclear fallout shelter. This was a project that not only symbolized the times, but also showed his early grasp of structural engineering and safety. As a young adult, he proved through that project that his life is a testament to what happens when natural talent, discipline, and a lifelong respect for craftsmanship come together. Despite following no shortcuts or seeking the spotlight, he delivered a masterpiece that left everyone awestruck. He rose from a small-town builder to become one of the most recognizable figures in home renovation, proving that quiet excellence can still make a loud impact. Having such a sound reputation at an early age opened many doors of opportunity for him, one of which involved his contract with the producers of the This Old House show. The This Old House show team was preparing to film a renovation project in Lexington, and they needed a skilled and reliable construction firm to take on the task. Silva Brothers was hired for the job. At the time, Tom Silva had no plans of becoming a television personality. He was only interested in doing what he loved, leading the work site and ensuring the home's transformation stayed true to its heritage. Though he wasn't that fond of the camera, the producers were amazed by how Tom stood out in the show. He had a calm, confident way of explaining technical concepts to the camera. He never rushed his explanation, was comfortable with his knowledge, and came across as completely authentic. Even without a rehearsal, there was no doubt in the mind of viewers that his voice was the voice of a man who had done the work for decades. The producers and audience took note, and by the end of the season it was clear that Tom Silva needed to stay. Tom officially became the show's general contractor starting in the 1986 season and has remained a central figure ever since. However, Tom's life does not revolve around This Old House alone. While This Old House brought Tom national fame, Silva Brothers Construction has remained his primary business outside of television. The company frequently collaborates with homeowners, architects, and preservationists to preserve the architectural integrity of historic homes while upgrading them to meet modern standards. Tom has remained actively involved in overseeing projects, training crew members, and ensuring quality control even while filming This Old House. Reports revealed that many of the homes featured on This Old House have been Silva Brothers projects that they've integrated into the show. Tom is also a public speaker and an event and trade enthusiast. He has participated in industry trade shows, such as the International Builders Show, workshops, and construction expos, as well as apprenticeship promotions, through which he encourages young people to pursue careers in the skilled trades. He has long been a passionate advocate for reversing the decline in interest in skilled labor among young people. Whenever he's called for interviews and speaking engagements, he never forgets to talk about the dignity of working with your hands and how craftsmanship is both art and science. Unlike many TV personalities, Tom Silva is very selective with endorsements. When it comes to signing endorsement deals, his focus is not just on the money involved, but on what he represents. He is known for only associating with tools and building products, so he goes with brands he actually trusts and uses on the job. Some of these brands could be tool manufacturers like hand tools, saws, levels, and drills. Others include brands that produce building materials and home improvement companies promoting craftsmanship or innovation. He didn't misuse the trust that builders had in him. His reputation for integrity means that his endorsements carry weight. Fans and builders know that if Tom Silva recommends it, it's been field tested. Hence, Tom also collaborates with other trusted companies to sell their products, making him an entrepreneur as well. Aside from his roles on This Old House and Ask This Old House, Tom has also appeared in special features and behind-the-scenes documentaries. He has been invited by other media outlets to feature in their how-to videos and teach in their online tutorials for brands. Tom has also been featured in magazines such as Fine Home Building and This Old House magazine. He has also made occasional appearances on shows and segments related to home safety, weatherproofing, or sustainability in home building. All these might seem like the normal life of a celebrity builder, but they show that Tom is not only passionate about building houses, but also willing to help others in the process. In recent years, Tom has developed an interest in wood turning as a personal hobby. He has shared his handmade wooden vessels, bowls, and lidded containers on Instagram and YouTube. He also gave his viewers some tips on using a lathe safely and creatively. Aside from that, he also shares his woodshop tour videos. This hobby ties into his core identity as a lifelong craftsman, not just a builder of houses, but a maker of beautiful, functional objects. He's also creating his path in the media space, aspiring to be known outside of the This Old House show. Tom's passion for building has never been self-centered. He has long emphasized the importance of mentorship in the trades. Outside the show, he is known for working directly with apprentices and younger contractors through Silva Brothers Construction, teaching and guiding them through the step-by-step process of construction. He advocates that young contractors should be allowed to learn while doing the job. That is, learning should be more practical than theoretical. Tom has immense respect for vocational careers and has encouraged young builders to pursue them. This has become even more visible as his brother's son, Charlie Silva, has joined both the company and This Old House as a representative of the newer generation of builders. Tom is leading by example by effectively mentoring his foster son on camera and off camera. It will amaze you to know that he is not just an expert in handling hammers and nails, but also skilled in using a pen. He has contributed to writing books under the This Old House brand and has also written independently. Some of his books include home repair tips, renovation planning advice, safety and inspection guidelines, tool usage techniques, and more. While he may not be a prolific author, his technical input and construction wisdom have been vital to many This Old House books and personal DIY guides. Personal life. Tom has always kept his personal life out of the public eye. However, behind the scenes of fame and construction, he had already found the most important structure of his life built on his marriage to Susan Silva. The couple married in the late 1980s, right around the time Tom's television career began to take off. Susan preferred not to be in the limelight, and she loved it that way. However, she was no less essential to Tom's journey than any tool in his workshop. Their home is in the Boston suburbs, a 19th century house that Tom continually renovated bit by bit, room by room. Family, hard work, humility, and tradition define their home. Through the years, Susan remained his greatest confidant and supporter. She anchored his private life, keeping him grounded, while Tom juggled a growing public presence. Tom and Susan were blessed with 2 children, Kate Silva and TJ Silva. They were raised with not just television privileges but with hands-on life lessons. Tom's children grew up with the basic understanding of what it meant to build something real, to earn their place through effort, not entitlement. Though he was often busy with filming and renovations, Tom was present in the moments that mattered to his family, such as family dinners and school plays. He also taught them the basics of how to fix a door hinge or swing a hammer. His daughter Kate was born in the early 1990s in Boston but eventually moved to San Diego, and in recent years returned home with her fiancé, Jay. Together with guidance from her dad, they bought a house just 1.3 miles away from Tom's, marking a new chapter of closeness between the father and daughter. The birth of Kate's son, Jake, made Tom a proud grandfather, a role he embraced with the same love as he did any restoration project. Just as Tom mentored Kate, he now subtly guides young Jake through shared time in the yard, simple crafts, and quiet lessons that lay foundations for self-reliance and curiosity. Although Tom hasn't made these moments public, sources indicate that a new member has been added to the family recently. TJ Silva, on the other hand, his son, pursued a quieter path, rumored to be involved in the construction business as well. Though not in the spotlight like his cousin Charlie Silva, TJ carries on the family's tradition of craftsmanship in his own way. Tom's nephew, Charles Silva, was an integral part of the family and the business as well. He was so active with Tom that most viewers and fans of the This Old House series believed that he was Tom's son. Some reports also revealed that only Charles and Tom co-own the Silva Brothers Construction Company. Net worth. To understand the wealth of Tom Silva, you must first know that he is not the kind of celebrity contractor who flaunts success through flashy cars or luxury homes. Instead, he has meticulously built his life, legacy, and fortune over the decades with precision, honesty, and the same durable craftsmanship he brings to every house he touches. For over 40 years, Tom Silva has been the steady, trusted face of This Old House, the longest-running home improvement show in television history. However, behind that familiar voice and calm demeanor is a man whose success is measured in reputation, reliability, and real-world results. Real-world, not just dollars. Contrary to popular beliefs, Tom Silva's path to wealth wasn't paved with endorsements, quick fame, or flashy business deals. His wealth came in the dust of construction sites, from Lexington, Massachusetts, to job sites across New England. He started earning since he was a child, helping his father build a fallout shelter beneath their 18th-century family home. That formative project not only sparked a love for old structures, problem-solving, and craftsmanship, but also introduced him to what it means to earn a living through something he loves doing the most. Even after founding the Silva Brothers Construction, his focus was not on high-end commercial builds with fat paychecks but on quality residential work. His attention to detail, love for periodic architecture, and straight-shooting honesty earned him a loyal client base. Everything changed in 1986, when he and Silva Brothers were hired to work on This Old House, a television show which brought him recognition and a solid stream of income. According to multiple sources, including Celebrity Net Worth, EduNet, and World of CEOs, Tom Silva's estimated net worth is between $2.5 million and $6 million. However, Tom didn't accumulate that wealth solely by being a celebrity contractor. His income flows from several stable sources. The first one is television salary. As a central figure on This Old House, Tom reportedly earns a six-figure annual salary. While PBS does not disclose its full earnings due to its public funding model, it is known that longtime cast members receive consistent royalties from reruns, as well as compensation and bonuses from promotional work and affiliated publications. The second solid source of income is from Silva Brothers Construction. Tom is not just the face of the company. He remains actively involved in overseeing craftsmanship and managing projects. The company reportedly generates millions in annual revenue, with a significant portion of that revenue reinvested in future projects and training the next generation of builders. The third way Tom earns a living is through writing and publications. He contributes regularly to This Old House magazine and affiliated media outlets. He is paid for his technical guidance, tool reviews, and how-to segments, which also include occasional appearances at home shows and trade expos. He also has DIY books that he has written himself, which provide a consistent and solid income. Aside from his commitment to This Old House and the Silva Brothers, Tom Silva is also gradually building his personal brand and media presence independently through woodworking and private projects. Though less commercialized, Tom is known to be an avid woodworker, spending quiet hours crafting bowls, vessels, and hand-carved pieces. Some fans and collectors believe he sells this work. Tom also has a unique kind of home that reflects his personality. If you were to visit his house, you wouldn't find opulence. It's hard to believe that an expert home constructor has no golden fixtures, no glassy high-rises, or a fleet of luxury cars in his house. What you would find is a solid 19th-century home in the suburbs of Boston, painstakingly renovated by Tom himself over the years. This house, built in the 18th century, has become a living testament to Tom's beliefs about stewardship, sustainability, and the beauty of craftsmanship. He modernized the systems, reinforced its structure, leaving every meaningful architectural detail intact. The home has served as a family residence and an experimental ground for materials, techniques, and long-term durability tests. Most importantly, this house carries so many memories. It was where he raised his daughter, Kate, and son, TJ, alongside his wife, Susan Silva. Unlike many celebrities or wealthy professionals, Tom Silva does not have publicly known vacation homes, luxury rentals, or sprawling land portfolios. No beach houses, mountain chalets, or investments in properties in exotic locations have been found in his portfolio. His wealth appears to have been built not through speculative real estate but through earned equity in business and reputation. That said, based on the nature of his work and the company's operations, Tom owns or co-owns multiple smaller properties through Silva Brothers Construction, which include project homes renovated for resale, temporary work sites or training homes, and business-related properties used for equipment storage or training workshops. These properties are never flaunted because they exist for work, not status. As a home renovator, Tom is involved in real estate flipping. He buys old dilapidated houses, renovates them, and sells them at a considerable profit. His interest has always been legacy, not luxury. Instead of collecting mansions, Tom has collected decades of grateful homeowners, loyal employees, and admiring viewers. Despite his multi-million-dollar net worth, Tom Silva remains a profoundly humble and down-to-earth person. His dress style is modest, nothing extravagant to portray his affluence. He doesn't speak boastfully or present himself as a celebrity. He is most comfortable in a work shirt, with sawdust on his sleeves and blueprints under his arm. People who meet him say that he is the same steady, respectful, generous, knowledgeable, and honest off-camera as he is when he's on camera. He doesn't see success as something to display. He sees it as something to build with, to share, and to pass down to others. It is essential to recognize that Tom Silva's financial success did not stem from consistently seeking attention, but rather from delivering excellence, from his childhood in a fallout shelter to national television and beyond. His journey is a model of what happens when skill, discipline, and humility are combined with purpose. Today, his net worth may be measured in dollars, but his real wealth is seen in the craftsmanship of his home, the integrity of his work, and the love of his family. Challenges with this old house. As a longtime general contractor on This Old House, Tom Silva has faced numerous challenges throughout his career on the show. One of the major challenges is working with historic homes that often come with severe structural issues, such as bowed walls or uneven foundations. These projects not only require creative problem-solving but also taking certain life risks in the process.